The treasure chest worth $1 million hidden by a millionaire is actually found. One American millionaire decided to do something completely crazy. He buried a chest with various valuables worth $1 million somewhere in the Rocky Mountains and thus opened the biggest hunt in the world. There was only one clue that was guiding people for years. You may ask, what's the reason for hiding a treasure chest? The man wanted people to enjoy their time outdoors, but things didn't go as planned. For some people, this hunt turned into a dark obsession with painful consequences. The treasure has been buried for 10 years until late 2020 when one mysterious man finally discovered the chest and came forward. But how did he do it? How did he manage to do something a lot of people couldn't do for years? Before revealing this mystery, let's find out what dark things the treasure hunters had to go to before the end of this hunt. There's one couple that decided to document their long journey of finding the treasure located in the Rocky Mountains between Santa Fe, New Mexico, and the Canadian border. But who is that mystery man who got such a crazy and hopeful idea? US millionaire Forrest Fenn is an 86-year-old Vietnam veteran and art dealer. He said there are 350,000 people who are searching for his chest and has no idea whether anyone has gotten close. It could be found soon or 1,000 years from now, he stated. In 2016, he added that nobody knows where the treasure is, even his wife. If I die tomorrow, the knowledge of that location goes in the coffin with me. Remember about the only one clue left? Well, it was a cryptic 24-line poem written by Forrest Fenn. Begin it where warm waters halt and take it in the canyon down. Not far but too far to walk, put in below the home of Brown. The only guide to this clue is the words, read the clues in my poem over and over and study maps of the Rocky Mountain. Try to marry the two. The treasure is out there waiting for the person who can make all the lines cross in the right spot. Isn't Forrest Fenn simply an insane man who's probably lying? Well, we can go off his words and trust that he's telling the truth. So what was the treasure chest filled with? It included emeralds, rubies, gold coins, and diamonds, which are all artifacts that Fenn collected during his explorations in the Southwest. All this story may sound hokey at first, but there's a reasonable explanation for it. In 1988, Fenn was diagnosed with cancer and decided to fill the chest, take it to the mountains, and die beside it. Yet the man survived, and all his plans were up in smoke. Thus, he decided to hide this chest and launch the biggest and the most obsessed hunt ever. Lots of people were losing their job. Despair was written all over the headlines, and I just wanted to give some people hope, Fenn explained. One of the treasure hunters was Ricky Idlet, a steamboat operator in Mississippi. Most of my 12 hours every night I'm on Google or something looking up clues. Every night I'm looking. For Forrest Fenn, this entire crazy idea wasn't of no consequence, of course. He gets over 100 emails every day and has various visitors threatening him. This one guy called me, he said, tell me where the treasure is right now, I'm gonna kill you. Due to some fatal consequences for dedicated searchers, it said that at least 4 people died in accidents while hunting. People started calling Fenn to get it over with, yet he didn't. Instead, he added a few more clues that had to make the hunt safer. The treasure chest is not underwater, nor is it near the Rio Grande River. It is not necessary to move large rocks or climb up or down a steep precipice. Please remember that I was about 80 when I made 2 trips from my vehicle to where I hid the treasure, he stated. The man wanted people to have some fun, not die. I wanted to give the kids something to do. They spend too much time in the game room or playing with their little handheld texting machines. I hope parents will take their children camping and hiking in the Rocky Mountains. I hope they'll fish, look for fossils, turn rotten logs over to see what's under them, and look for my treasure. Turning back to the documented journey of one couple, Estelle messaged her friend Zach and asked, random question, but would you be interested in looking for a treasure with me? OMG, are you talking about Fenn's treasure? Answered Zach, who's been following this story update since everything started in 2010. The next fall, they decided to join the hunt for the treasure and interviewed people who'd already tried to find the chest. They gathered a huge collection of maps, topographies, lists, and geological formations, regional histories, and archaeological accounts from the 19th century, while also joining the vast community of hunters. The couple found out that Fenn was a pilot in the army, later becoming an amateur archaeologist who later moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and opened an art gallery. The man gathered a massive collection of artifacts valuable to some of the finest museums. He made a fortune by selling them to US presidents and Hollywood magnates. Estelle and Zach read Fenn's book, The Thrill of the Chase from front to back, and found out the poem actually contains 9 clues. It starts, as I have gone alone in there and with my treasures spoiled, I can keep my secret where and a hint of riches new and old. Begin at where warm waters halt and take it in the canyon down. Not far but too far to walk, put it in below the home of Brown. From there it's no place for to make the end is never drawing nigh. There'll be no paddle up your creek, just heavy loads and water high. If you've been wise and found the blaze, look quickly down your quest to seize. But tarry scant with marvel gaze, just take the chest and go in peace. So why is it that I must go and leave my trove for all to seek? The answer is I already know. I've done it tired and now I'm weak. So hear me all and listen good. Your effort will be worth the cold. If you are brave and in the woods, I'll give you title to the gold. 4 of 9 clues have been solved, and it's said that some people have even gotten within 250 feet of the gold. On both public and private Facebook groups and online forums, over 8,000 members posted various questions of where the treasure could be. In one of their research, Zach and Estelle came across a map made by amateur cartographers that helped them to narrow down the original search area from 27 million acres to about 591,000. Zach and Estelle spent a lot of evenings coming up with their own theories. Then Estelle solved the first clue of the first line, where warm waters halt. She said, that's the Firehole River falls right in the heart of Yellowstone National Park. Thanks to developed deduction skills, the couple found a place where Fenn explored as a kid. It was right on the border of Montana and Wyoming. Hebgen Lake is a grizzly bear territory, which relates to the clue home of Brown, and Red Canyon Creek, no paddle up your creek. While solving other clues and getting closer to the answer, they had to remember that the poem was quite interpretive. A lot of people came up with various theories, yet nobody had found the treasure yet. Can you even imagine that? Some people were standing 200 feet away from millions of dollars and didn't even know it. So close and so far at the same time. One more significant problem is that the city dwellers weren't prepared for such an adventure. A park ranger said that some have even ventured into the snow with tennis shoes. Zach and Estelle even were in the office of a medical investigator to find out how the hiker who searched for the treasure died. In 2016, 54-year-old Randy Bill Yu went missing when he went looking for the chest. 6 months later, he was found dead. At one point in their adventure, the couple thought the treasure might be in a cave because one clue was about the spot you'd come back to in 10,000 years. But they made a mistake. When making a film, Zach revealed his desire to get a bit of respect from Fenn for his effort. Zach and Estelle went back into the heart of Yellowstone Park, the oldest park in the United States. Later, they found out that Fenn is a board member at Buffalo Bill's Center, and some treasure hunters thought the man hid the chest when being on a trip for board members meeting in 2009. This theory leads to the area of Lamar Valley where Zach and Estelle drove to. The place is called Icebox Canyon, where the Soda Butt Creek is. This is the area where warm waters halt. A lot of hunters suggested that the line put in below the home of Brown is the most essential clue. It's where the treasure's hidden. One of the facts that stood out was that Brown was capitalized. Turning back to the journey of Zach and Estelle, the couple was in the Lamar Ranger Station, an old ranch where a well-known ranger lived named Gary Brown, home of Brown. Once they reached the station, they realized that the main facilities were closed down. Despite the fact that every failing clue kept defeating them, they tried to stay encouraged and hopeful. The clues were highly misinterpreted, even though Fenn said that the poem leads to a concrete spot. Thus, the couple decided to end this crazy game and go home as the doubts started creeping in. Isn't it all a simple hoax? The whole trip left a huge impact on them as they'd gone to so many trails for the whole 5 days and found nothing. On the way home, they figured that Fenn had to overcome too much trouble to implement his idea. There was no reason to lie. Also, they'd seen sheep in a field with a vast rainbow behind them. The treasure at the end of the rainbow. Unbelievable, said Zach. The guys put a little Forrest Fenn statuette where they stopped to see the rainbow. The main quest remained the same. Where's the treasure hidden? Is it actually real? That would be so much shame to miss such an incredible opportunity if no one could find it before Fenn passed away. In June 2020, the search was officially over. Someone found a treasure chest filled with valuables worth $1 million in the Rocky Mountains. Forrest Fenn stated on his website that he didn't know who the lucky winner was. However, he finally said where he hid the chest. It was under a canopy of stars in the lush forested vegetation of the Rocky Mountains and hadn't moved from the spot where I hid it more than 10 years ago, he stated. I congratulate the thousands of people who've participated in this search and hope they will continue to be drawn by the promise of other discoveries. Before Fenn passed away at the age of 90, he revealed the winner was a man from back east who chose to remain nameless. On his website, Fenn said he'd provide more information a bit later, and there was even a photograph confirming the discovery. When people asked Fenn how he feels about it, he answered, I don't know, I feel kinda halfway glad, halfway kinda sad because the chase is over. A bit later, the official winner decided to reveal his name. It was the 32-year-old medical student from Michigan, Jack Stueff, yet he still doesn't want to share all the secrets about how he found the chest. And the reason why Jack kept his name in secret was the fear of his family's safety. For the past 6 months, I've remained anonymous, not because I have anything to hide, but because Forrest and his family endured stalkers, death threats, home invasions, frivolous lawsuits, and a potential kidnapping, all at the hands of people with delusions related to his treasure, he wrote in a Medium post. I don't want those things to happen to me and my family. One woman filed a lawsuit that said whoever found the chest had done so by stealing her personal texts and emails. Stuve denied all these claims and had to move to a more secure building with guards and multiple levels of security with an aim to protect himself. Now the treasure chest is located in a basement in New Mexico and will remain there until Stuve decides to sell it. He also said he'll never say where exactly he found the treasure, as he wants to save the wildlife and prevent other explorers from following his trail. The winner said he's optimistic that this experience will still be a positive chapter in my life, despite all the unfair claims.